All right, there we are. We're live on the YouTube. I'm going to stop presenting so Scott can. Hey there, Scott.
Hey, here I am. We're live on the interwebs.
Yep. I think we all have maybe all of 0 watching right now, but hey.
That will change.
Yeah. So Scott got a hold of me, for those that are watching, and asked if I'd watch The Orville, which is the new Fox space show, premiered on Sunday night. Scott said he just got done watching a little bit ago. So overall, real quick before we talk about it, Scott, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. I really did. I've been reading mixed reviews online leading up to it, and honestly, I enjoyed it.
I did too. Wasn't as funny as I thought it would be, and there was some jokes that kept going on way too much, like the wife jokes and stuff like that. But I think that was to set up this first episode, and of course, we learned at the end that she helped him get the command, so I'm sure that'll be rubbed in his face later.
For those watching. Yeah, I think the biggest problem with this show is, because it's Seth MacFarlane, people are, I think, expecting something more funny, like pure comedy. Yeah. Whereas really comedy is the secondary aspect of this, whereas a sci-fi adventure is the primary.
Yeah.
So, and the second part working against it right now, as far as preconceptions go, is because it's Seth MacFarlane, I think people are expecting more adult humor, and this is truly meant to be a family watchable show.
Yeah, it was there's some innuendos and things like that, but it's on at 8 o'clock on Sunday nights, which I know it doesn't mean anything because I've had Family Guy at that hour, but yeah, I think it's going to be a show that people should. To me, I've been more excited about it than I have the new Star Trek. So,
me too. The Star Trek STD, as it's called.
Yeah, I think we're all going to need a shot for that one.
Okay, they know that people abbreviate the various series. Why would you name it Star Trek STD? And for those who don't know, it's Star Trek Discovery is what we're talking about. And that starts up in 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah, but it's still only going to be on the CBS All Access app, so you have to pay to get it to watch it.
My understanding is that's only initially, but then I think it's on there first, but then it switches over.
Yeah, but that's going to be how many months down the road, though?
I don't know. I don't know how they're doing it, but I think it's a foolish move because people aren't going to pay to watch it. First of all, even if it was if they were bringing back Next Generation, people wouldn't be paying to watch it on CBS. People are already expressing, with Disney wanting to do their own streaming service, people are already expressing how ridiculous it is that all these networks think we're going to pay for 15 individual subscriptions. It would be for Netflix because Netflix is unique to that. But if everybody under the sun wants to do it, it's no longer a unique structure.
I don't want to have to buy streaming services from 20 different things to get all the content I want.
Exactly.
That defeats the purpose of getting rid of cable, even, because I might as well just keep cable and let everything stream through that.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, with my cable, I have Comcast, and for me, I have on demand, and I can follow up on the shows I need. I don't want to go through a paid service, especially there's a lot of shows on a lot of these networks. I watch the shows because they're free. If I had to pay for a lot of these shows, I'd be like, forget it. I'm not watching that.
Right, I'm the same way, and it's, you never know what's, you get out some months, but I wouldn't pay $10 a month to a service just for one show. Exactly. I don't want to spend that kind of money. It's, I mean, if it's a free trial, I would do that, watch the show, and cancel it.
Yeah, the only shows that works for is you got to be something on the level of Game of Thrones. People will sign up for HBO and then cancel it when the season's done. That happened a lot with Dexter when that was on Showtime. I think it would work for Walking Dead on AMC, but very few shows are people willing to actually pay for that.
Right.
And I think Star Trek Discovery is one of them. But back to the Orville, to me, or actually, I'm wondering how legally they're making the Orville. It is.
Well, I mean, parody does have its own safeguards. So
what?
Parody does have its own safeguards, and it's all parody.
The is a secondary aspect is the problem. They're going hardcore. They could have easily have made this a Star Trek series, and this is some ragtag group on the other end of the galaxy that the Starfleet doesn't care about, and it would fit. Like,
well, it would, and I think it'd be a better thing than what we're going to see with Discovery.
I agree.
The thing is, yeah. Well, the thing is, I saw about though the show. It's Star Trek, but it's also a little bit of what the Galaxy Quest TV series was going to be in some ways.
Yes, except I think Galaxy Quest went more with the. See, Galaxy Quest to me was parody, and a well done parody. To me, the Seth MacFarlane show, while I really enjoyed it, that is pure Star Trek knockoff. I don't think it's parody.
Well, it is, but it still falls under parody because one, it's not Starfleet. There's no Prime Directive. Everything they're doing, it doesn't fit. They don't have any transporters, so they have to use the shuttle to get down.
Now, I will give them this. There is one thing in the show that is totally not Star Trek. You will never see it in Star Trek anywhere. You know what it was?
What was that?
When they're on the shuttle and they're flying back, and the bad guy, the Krill, is there. And he wants to steal the time machine thing. They slam on the brakes because they're wearing seatbelts.
Yes.
There are no seatbelts in Star Trek.
That is true. And as they put it on, I kind of knew that was going to happen because it's like, put your seatbelt on, kids. Let's go.
Now, same with Star Wars. They've all that tech, and they've never heard of a railing. They'll have some 800-foot drop, but no railings.
Right. Hey, we're going to fire this big beam right by you.
Another thing that doesn't exist in Star Trek is fuses. Like they take one shot from a Klingon vessel, and like all their boards explode. Like the power surge goes through the whole ship, and everything explodes. They can't invent a fuse.
Well, I mean, it kind of happened on this show too. So as soon as they got hit a couple times, everything was going crazy inside.
But as far as the show itself goes, while yes, it is a Star Trek knockoff, I really did enjoy it. I do feel like it could fit, almost like DC tried that with that show. Damn it, what was it called? They had that they would clean up after the superheroes.
Oh, it's going to be Damage Control.
Yeah, it's to me, this feels like that version of the Star Trek universe. Like these are the rejects, and they're off doing their own little thing behind the scenes. Actually, and
Damage Control was like a series. Really, they were in. What were they in? They were just in Spider-Man. That's where they came in and took over for Michael Keaton's character, and that's why he got
the one that they had for the DC universe. They had a series.
Right. You're talking about Powerless, which was them creating the gadgets.
That's it. Powerless.
Yeah, and I like Powerless. I thought it was funny,
but it was still comedy. So
yeah, and that's where it is. I mean, Star Trek is serious, and we've already heard that this new one's going to be the most diverse Star Trek there ever has been. It's supposed to be more serious, where the Orville isn't. I mean, come on, it's just they say we got this crappy little ship for you. By the way, go deliver this stuff. It's almost Futurama at that point.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that in there too. Yep. And but as far as the characters, I found the characters to be interesting. I do like the dynamic that they brought in between Seth MacFarlane and Adrian Palacki. How do you say her last name? Yeah, she's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and things like that. I thought it was an interesting dynamic they brought in because that's one aspect in Star Trek you've never seen. You've never seen a married Starfleet captain.
Right. I mean, now Next Generation did put in stuff. So
yeah. So I did like the character arcs they're showing. They had some really funny scenes in there, like the pilot of the ship. He's drinking a beer while they're flying through to the ship, and he almost crashes. That was funny.
Well, that was kind of funny. They basically that's not like a ripoff, but I think it's more a correlation of Wash from Firefly. Wash didn't drink like that, but Wash could fly by the seat of his pants. So
right. Yep. Yeah, I think that Wash actually. Now that you say that, I could see that being a blueprint for that character if they did that. And then the security officer guy or whatever what his name is, that was definitely Worf. He even had the same exact voice.
Well, yeah, and I had to double check because the guy that does the voice of the robot, he sounds just like Brent Spiner, but it's not Brent Spiner.
Right. The voices are dead on with the next generation. I'm waiting for Kirk to show up.
Well, I think that Seth MacFarlane wants to be the Kirk character, so we won't see any actual Kirk. But I'm waiting to see if we get a number one, you know, in terms of a Riker, probably from another ship, though.
I call him number 2.
Yeah, I think you could play him. So you got the beard now, so you could do number 2.
Talking about number 1, Riker, he's actually part of the production of this show. I don't know if
he's probably helping with it.
I know he's directing some episodes. And I don't know how heavily
that makes sense.
Involved, and there's a few other Star Trek people involved with the creation of this, so that also explains a lot of the feel.
I think in some way he must have almost like a back-end Paramount blessing, where they're not going to mess with him. Plus, he's bringing all these Star Trek guys in to kind of be a part of it. So,
yeah, maybe Paramount realizes this will be a bigger success than Star Trek Discovery. I don't know, but you had mentioned Star Trek Discovery, them talking about how this would be the most diverse ever. But they're starting to take a lot of heat because of a recent statement. They became very they went on the offense with their whole promotion of it being the most diverse. And they made a statement, I'm going to paraphrase because I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something to the effect of, this is going to be the most diverse ever and you're going to like it. Basically, or like, no matter what, you know, take or something. I forget, you know, not in a polite way. And a lot of fans there was some backlash on the forums because they were saying Star Trek has always been diverse. It's always been about diversity, and it's never been about forcing it into it. So they're already starting to create some issues there.
But if they start to force it too much, I think what's going to happen is they're going to lose their audience, because I don't want an hour-long episode on some issue they think is diverse, and it's not an actual story. It's just an issue. It's like, no, tell the story. It happens. If you go back to the original, they were very diverse, and they dealt with very hard issues. They dealt with racism. They dealt with the planet, especially the black and white half faces. You had the first interracial kiss between Aurora and Kirk, and they were able to get away with some of the stuff because it's a sci-fi show and things were controlled scientifically.
But another big part, and I think current Hollywood needs to take a lesson from past Hollywood, is they did all that stuff, but it didn't come with a press release to say, you know, we are now doing this.
Right.
They just did it, and it became part of the series. Whereas now they turn it into a marketing campaign ahead of time, which crack viewers they try to. It becomes this like beacon call, and that's where you get the backlash, because then it feels more like a marketing gimmick than just part of the storyline.
Right.
So, but and also Orville. One thing that really shocked me about the show, they really put the production value into it.
You know, it was good. I did notice, you know, some of the background stuff wasn't bad, but you can tell it's a little forced. But I think that's because it's a pilot. But I like the fact that they're incorporating a lot of elements. And then the building they were in, I mean, it was a real building somewhere probably around LA. And I like the add-in of, I don't know if the building actually has it, but the little monorail that was up top. You know, we saw it during the one shot. Didn't see it again, though. They had that same hallway basically they walked through a few times.
But even like the shuttle taking off and flying through space, I mean, obviously it's not going to be the same level as Star Trek Discovery will have. They don't have that kind of budget. But for what they were working with and the type of show it is, Fox really did put some investment into it.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. Although I did expect them to have like a rear entry joke with the shuttle going in the back end. But
you thought there would be?
I thought there would be, but you know, it's Seth MacFarlane again. Didn't know what to expect on the joke part, you know.
Yeah, and that's so far the negative comments I've read, which honestly haven't been many. Like on a critical side, I've read more of the negative, but on my Facebook feed for individuals, the individuals seem to like it a lot. But it definitely comes back to the people who aren't happy with it. I think it's more about they're expecting Family Guy in space, and they're not getting that.
I'm glad it's not. I'd rather be more of a comedy sci-fi show than just be a rehash of Family Guy, which is a rehash of itself every week anymore anyways.
Well, and I think a big part of that is twofold. One, Seth MacFarlane, I was watching an interview with him recently, And it's funny because he's going through the same thing right now that Mike Judge went through with Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah.
Seth MacFarlane does almost all the voices on the show. Well, he's starting to blow his voice out. He was talking about how it actually hurts now to do these episodes because
well he does Peter and he does Stewie.
And he said he does
and he does Brian. So that's 3 of the main characters right there.
He said every week he has 4 main voices every week. Plus, he said additional characters that come and go depending on the episode is what he said.
Oh, that's right. He does, what's his name? The Giggity guy.
Is that the guy with the giant chin?
Yeah.
He's like in
Quagmire. It was Quagmire. I had to think
Quagmire. That's it. Yeah. But yeah, my daughter right now is Family Guy is on Netflix, so she's been binging that. Right. So I've been catching episodes.
And they put those on unrated, so it's like instead of leaving out everything there, everything is live.
Yeah, so it's but yeah, it's nice to see. I enjoyed it, and I definitely will give this series a chance and see what I'm looking forward to see what the next few episodes are, and see how they develop everything.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited about it. I was watching the credits, and one of the credits I noticed is a producer from The Family Guy, who's actually from Ann Arbor, Michigan. Her family runs a Thai restaurant. It's Cherry. I'm going to probably get this wrong, so hopefully if she's watched, forgive me. And I met her in Ann Arbor at the library where she did a speak time one time. Cherry Shiva Ramadumrung. It's a long name. So when you go look at the credits on Family Guy and now this, it's like this long.
She needs a nickname.
Well, she was like Cherry Shiva. So on a lot of stuff, but she has her long name on that. She wrote a couple of the Family Guy books that they put out a few years ago. When I was down there one year, she had brought in what's her name? Just the voice of Lois.
Okay.
And so it was pretty cool. I talked to him for a few minutes, and I won a DVD, so she signed that for me. So I got a signed DVD somewhere here, and my books are signed by her. So I'm excited about the Orville. I definitely want to see some more of this. I'm hoping that it's. If anything, at least we get a full season to give it a full shot. I think this one shows it's going to take a little while to grow on some people.
Yeah,
and it's not going to be complete toilet humor.
Right. I think this is Seth MacFarlane's attempt to mature in his career as well. I think he's trying to transition from the juvenile humor, which is fine. It's got its place, but he's growing in his career too, and I think he's trying to evolve it with it.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But
I think it's going to be cool, and I'm looking forward to it. So
cool. And anything else on Orville from you, Brett?
You know, I think we just kind of want to talk a little bit about it. We're going to have more new episodes coming week. I didn't check. Is it going to stay an hour, or is it going to a half hour?
I don't know. I don't know if this was just an extra long because it was a pilot, so I'm not sure.
I'm going to look it up real quick while we're sitting here chatting, and we'll just see if it's going to how long it's supposed to be.
Brett, you're like Felicity Smoke right now on Arrow.
You what?
You're like my Felicity Smoke on Arrow.
Yeah.
you got the computer going.
Yes. Well, it helps that I can sit right here and do this. So I'm trying to see if it'll show the length of the episode. And
well, I will say, and to me, an hour did not feel long. It didn't feel too long and drawn out.
Perfect. Yeah. I thought it was perfect. I like it.
And really, with network TV, what is it, 40 minutes?
Yeah, it's like between 40 and 44 minutes, depending on how they decide to do commercials.
Right. Well, and this one actually was an hour, now that I think about it. So, because I watched it on demand, so it didn't have the commercials. So it probably was a little bit longer episode.
Well, it might have been here. Actually, it looks like it's going to be on at 9 o'clock now.
Okay.
Or is that today? Oh, that's today. Never mind. Let me see if I can get Sunday up. There we go. Here's Sunday. 8 o'clock. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be an hour-long show. Perfect. I'm glad. I was worried they were going to try to... And then that would really just shorten everything they're trying to do and rush through it.
Short. So, yeah, good to hear. I'm looking forward to more episodes and, see where it goes. And As far as those watching this, this is an experiment me and Brett are doing here with trying to do the split screen hangout thing. We're trying to get it so our content on our regular episodes can be more deeper topics. Yes. And so that we can make more of these type of talks about, movie reviews. Like I did it earlier today. I did it as a live stream, but I think we're going to go more with this format. So subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get the updates when we post these. We're moving towards doing these live on a regular basis. So hopefully everyone likes this. So it gives us a chance to give you more content.
Yeah, I think the only thing we're going to have to work on, Scott, is looks like your internet's a little weak out in the room you're in, so maybe just check that out because your video keeps breaking up a little bit. But
okay,
your audio's there, so.
Yeah, probably if I go in another room. I've been with the Comcast, I've been having issues with my internet lately, so that cleared up.
You might have to get we'll talk about this off air, but you may have to get a device that will basically extend the signal, a signal extender.
Oh, okay.
And Best Buy has stuff like that. But we'll talk about that later. But until then, go ahead.
I was just saying, I was going to look into that. And then as far as for tomorrow goes, we're going to be doing episode 19. Already 19 weeks. Can you believe it?
Well, actually, I think it's 20 weeks. We had the 1 week where we did a replay.
1 week was a replay. Yeah.
But yeah, 19 episodes.
19 episodes. And so like I was saying, so on our regular episodes, we're going to try to have more fun topics, some funny news stories, maybe cool tech news, whatever is interesting that's happening in the world. We want to cover it, but we want to keep it on the fun, optimistic side. There's enough negative news in the world. We don't need another place for that. So that's what we're trying for, and hopefully all of you listeners will like it. And give us your feedback, because where you want us to go is where we'll go.
I think so. I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see everybody. And I'm going to flip this real quick here so I'm more live. So I'm going to present and I'm going to sign us off here. As I'm presenting, all I see is Scott. There I am. All right. So 10 a.m. Eastern time. So any other time zones, you got to figure it out on your own, because I'm not doing math this late at night for me. And tune in tomorrow, oddmusics.com. Go to Facebook, facebook.com. And Scott, do you know what our Facebook page is?
Just at Odd Musings.
At Odd Musings. So if you go to facebook.com and put in at Odd Musings, find us. If you're watching this, you haven't liked our page there, like it. If you're on Facebook and you saw this link, you check it out. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can get a real URL for that too. We're trying to get up to 100. I just saw on my phone we got a new subscriber today. Maybe he was watching us on this, so hopefully he'll come back and listen to previous episodes. And hit us up online. If you guys got questions for us, go to our website, oddmusings.com, or you can email us at oddmusingspodcast@gmail.com. And make sure you like and subscribe to everything.
The more interaction we have with you, the listeners, the better the content gets. So
definitely. That's what we're looking forward to. So until then, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Anything else, Scott, before I go?
Au revoir. My French.
Adios, peoples.